Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After Kids with Doctors Brooke and Lynne. I'm Dr. Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Lynne.
And we're so glad you're here today. We're talking about an important topic. Tell them what it is.
Red light therapy and light therapy in general.
Right. Because here's the thing, we're in November now, and the days are getting shorter. And not only that, we're about to hit daylight savings time. So for me, this is it's nice to have the holidays with all the bright lights and the fun things because really, especially in New England, it's getting dark at 4:30 on our shortest day. So,
yeah.
And it's a struggle.
It is because, we talk all the time about vitamin D and how important that is for our overall health. So light, obviously we get vitamin D from the sun, but just in terms of our mood, in terms of our just being excited for life, that sunlight as humans, we are supposed to be sitting in the sun, and we are working indoors in most cases all day long throughout the winter, right? And even if you live in a warm climate, this applies to you because it still gets dark in Florida early.
It does, much earlier for sure. And there's this whole shift behaviorally in the fall too, because in the summer you can have your dinner and then go out and still get a little bit of light, and but if you're in the office working now, or you're in your house or whatever, by the time you're done working, 5 o'clock, it's dark already. So you don't have a chance to get home, have a meal, and then get outside and get any, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it's tricky. And if you're going into work early, you may be going to work at dark and coming home and it's dark.
Yeah, which I've done, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really weighs on you.
It's tricky. And then on top of that, you're sitting likely, for many of us, not everybody, but many of us are sitting at a screen. So we're getting all this artificial light bombarded on us all day.
Yeah.
So this is a tricky thing, and I'm glad we're having this discussion.
Yeah, because there are some ways that we can counteract that, right? And
absolutely.
Some proactive things that we can do with light therapy. For us, in our home, a couple years back, we purchased something called a Juve, which is red light therapy. It's infrared, basically. And there are a lot of scientific studies out there that help prove the benefits of infrared therapy. I will say it's fairly new. It's something that we've just been doing maybe the last 20 years, but infrared technology has been around much longer than that. But its health applications are pretty new. And we first purchased it not for necessarily the light benefits, but because it has these side benefits of it helps with the appearance of your skin, which I think many of us are interested to hear about. Fine lines, wrinkles, just the collagen that we have in the soft tissue in our skin.
Absolutely. And I think it's also known to help, with the immune system and energy. There are so many benefits to red light.
Yes.
And so I know some women, so I think if I know what you're talking about correctly, because I don't have it, but it's a long thing that you can stand in front of. So I know some women who, I have a friend that's a nurse practitioner, and she has one, and she does her workouts in front of it.
Oh, that's
so
great.
She's stacking, right? There again, I love to talk about stacking and how we can multitask. So so that would be a great way to use that, because you're doing your workout and then you're standing in front of it too, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that whole concept of stacking, just to break that down right now for you, if you don't know what we mean, there's so many things you're supposed to do in a day, or you want to do in a day for your health, right?
Yeah.
And your mental, emotional well-being. And sometimes we just don't have enough time. Hi, Journey. Sometimes we just don't have enough time to do them one after another. And so wherever possible, stack up all of your activities to be able to, kill 4 birds with one stone. If you can.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing. And we can do this with the light fair, like I said, with my friend, and I would do the same thing. So for me, I can struggle with emotional and resilience is one of our foundations, right? So we talk about needing to have good emotional balance and well-being in midlife to really thrive. And so the light thing is a big issue for me. And you know this because we hit fall very often. And until I was really self-aware, there were times that I would call you and be like, I can't get out of my own head. I'm miserable. And you'd be like, Brooke, it happens to you this time of year all the time.
Yeah, because what happens with the light is it sneaks up on you.
It does.
And by the time you notice it, it's too late.
And if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you're like, what's wrong? Why am I so for me, I got a light box a couple of years back. And as soon as I get up in the morning when I go to do my workout, not as soon as I get up because I've got to get the kids and stuff like that, but when I do my workout, I'll turn that light box on. So once again, I can be doing two things at once. So I do my workout and I do the light box, and that's a little bit different because more that is not like a red light. That more like mimics the sun.
Yes. Yeah.
So it can be very beneficial for people who have trouble with like a seasonal affective.
Yeah. Which I think it's one of those things, like, forgive me because this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
But seasonal affective disorder is a diagnosis or a title. But it's one of those things that I think, kind of like gluten sensitivity or different things where autism is a spectrum, right? I think of it as a spectrum. I think we're all affected by the seasons.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of how affected are you.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah,
we all could benefit from light therapy.
Right. You don't need to, and I hate diagnoses and labels anyway, because then it kind of
Puts you in a box.
like puts you in a box. But yeah, there are different levels of it, and anyone can benefit. The other thing that I really like to be mindful of as we head into these like darker months is, and I've harped on this before, but it's even more important now, is first thing in the morning when the light's out, get out there and let that natural light hit your eyes. It's so important. And if you are in a situation where you're getting to work or you're up and out, you don't have a chance to do that because when you first get up, it's dark out. That's where the light box can come into to
play.
Yeah, and that can be beneficial. And if you can't do any of that, then like just try to, like, even maybe at lunch, just get outside, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes. It's so important to get as much natural light as we can during these months.
Yeah, I've said it before. As humans, we're solar powered. We really need that. And another tip that I love, and not everybody can do it, so please understand, just do the best that you can do. But if you can get away to a warmer climate in, say, November, December, January, and spend a week even.
Yeah.
Please
even
go.
Long weekend.
A long weekend, and just be outdoors. Just hopefully you don't have to, deal with work when you're away, and you can really just sit in the sun. The best sun is from 11 to 1. I know we're going to get a lot of comments about sunblock and all of that, but really that 11 to 1 is a good time. And then just cover yourself up, but be outside. So like you said, the sun can hit your eyes, and it helps regulate that circadian rhythm.
That's right. Absolutely. The key, so here's the thing, the caveat is, if you're far north of the equator, so like once you get into the New England area, in areas like that, maybe even a little bit lower, but regardless of if you are outside during the day and if you're outside at that proper time, you are still, from October through May, you are not going to get enough vitamin D from the sun.
No.
So you in those instances, we're talking about light therapy, but I'm going to circle it back to vitamin D, because if you are somebody that struggles a little bit emotionally with these darker days, even if you can't get the light that you need, the light box, the light, whatever it is, vitamin D will help you. It significantly, and way back when I was noticing that and we had that talk, one of the things you said to me was, are you getting enough vitamin D? Because you've had all summer out in the sun. You went through September, you were still able to get it, and all of a sudden things are tanking, and your body needs to regulate, like you might need to up it. And I was so thankful that you said that, because here's what we do, I think, at least I do, you miss sometimes it's right in front of your face and you miss it.
How often do we say that the simplest things are the most powerful, and we forget about them? And like you said, when they're obvious, it's like, oh, well, I know that.
Yeah.
But are you doing it?
Right. That's right. And vitamin D is it's such a simple thing to do, and it's very inexpensive. So, get your vitamin D levels tested, before you do anything, so you know where you should be. And usually most people, like 1,000 to 5,000 IUs a day is appropriate in the winter months.
Yes, and again, that's a very simple blood test that your health practitioner, whoever you see, anyone should be capable of running that test for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
Anything else?
Yeah, no, I would just say back to the Juve.
Yes.
I love that you brought up the immune side of things in the winter. This is a concern for many people, and usually our immune systems are lowered in our threshold because of the fact that we're not getting enough sun. We are not getting enough of all of the things. We're indoors too much artificial light. So we tend to think, well, this is cold and flu season. It is a season, and it's a change, and it's a season of our bodies now adapting as well. And so I like to, keep that philosophy around there, but you need to do things that would then help build up your resources, and that light therapy that you does that. And I know I've stood in front of that on days where I feel just a little bit less than 100% of optimal. Yeah.
That's great. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, what I missed, Facebook. We've got our private Facebook group that's free to join if you haven't done that already. And check out our website, www.lifeafterkids.com.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.